Hey everyone, it's me, Canadensis. Welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I post new doll and toy related videos multiple times every week. And in today's video, we are going to be doing my top 10 favorite Tecna dolls from Winx Club. And funny enough, I don't think I've done this video before, like ever. Because Tecna dolls can be a little bit rare. They don't include her in every line. So I just didn't have as many Tecna dolls. And that's funny because Tecna is, between her and Stella, my favorite character. It can switch depending on the season and the dub and stuff like that, but I really, really love Tecna. And today, as of the time that I'm filming this, is December 16th, which is Tecna's birthday, and I always used to love to do these, so it's a little bit nostalgic to me to do top 10 favorite character doll lists, because this was my bread and butter. I used to do this all the time on YouTube, so join me as we go through my top 10 favorite Tecna dolls. And just so you know, this list will contrast and disagree with former lists that I've made. I'm working on it. It's different when there's 10 Tecna dolls in front of you versus 25 other dolls of other characters in front of you. You start to make weird choices, and dolls that are on this list above dolls that were on my 25 list earlier this year are like, it's weird. It's weird. You'll see. You'll see. Anyway, let's get started. All right, so here's what we're dealing with my Winx collection. So it's going to be a doozy to pick out my favorite Tecna dolls, and this isn't even all of them. This is just the display ones, but all of my favorites are most likely display ones. And yeah, let's just get started. But this is a sense if you haven't seen my collection. This is what I've got. We are starting off this list with a doll who does not have her wings on right now, and it's because I kind of hate them. So it is Sirenix Tecna by Jakks Pacific. So where are her wings? I took them all off because they annoyed me. They are these big rubbery things. I'll put a picture right here. They are cute. I like them as a gimmick piece, but they're really heavy and awkward, and actually the dolls wearing them over time can break them. I have one that's broken. I did fix it, but I don't want that to happen to the others, so I'm going to be making them custom wings. I've made custom Sirenix wings before, and they turn out really cute. For some reason, when I make custom things for my own dolls, I'm super, super critical and picky, so that's why she doesn't have any right now. But would you guys like to see a video of me making my Sirenix Jakks dolls some wings in the new year? I would like to do that. Let me know. The reason this doll is on this list is that just because, like, ever since I got her, I've been so enamored by her. I think her face is so unbelievably stunning. I don't know why they didn't use this face ever again for Tecna. It's awesome. There were dolls that came after this one. They maybe would have used it again, but basically under a year after this line came out, Jakks was done. So they were just kind of releasing some leftover, like some dolls that they had planned to release, but a lot of dolls got cut. So I guess it kind of makes sense, but I just think this doll has the most beautiful face. I think her outfit is very nice. If you know anything about me and my Winx opinions, I'm not a big Sirenix fan, so you might actually be surprised to see Sirenix on this list. I'm not a big Sirenix fan. It was very disappointing to me as a mermaid transformation, and Harmonix is far superior in my opinion, but I like this color scheme. I think it's very beautiful. I always like to see Tecna in green. I know this is mostly purple, but I like the green leggings. I think they look very nice. And this is very, very pretty for a Sirenix doll. And honestly, in doll form, a lot of the like Sirenix looks are really, really cool. Like Sirenix Aisha by Witty Toys is actually one of my favorite Winx dolls. Top like 50, but still I have a lot of Winx dolls, so that's a good percentage. I think they look really nice. This is just a beautiful doll. She's a real standout for Jakks Pacific, and again, she doesn't look like the others, which really helps her case because I like Tecna's face a lot in Jakks Pacific, but this face is just so stunning. I wish that they all had this. Anyway, that's it for number 10 on this list. Moving on to number 9 on this list, if I can grab her seamlessly. Here we go. We have Mythix Tecna by Witty Toys. I've always been really drawn to this doll. There's this specific instance where when I first got these dolls, I took them out to take photos with my stepdad's camera. I have a DSLR camera that my stepdad had given me. It was his old one, but I had used his like current better one, and the picture is like one of the best pictures I've ever taken, and I just kind of posed her and like didn't really think much of it. And when I got back and like looked at the picture, I was like, whoa. And I love that picture to this day. I don't even know if I still have the original quality. I hope that I do, because I took that picture in like 2016. But I already liked her, and then I took that picture and I was like, whoa, this doll rocks. And I think the doll was the reason the picture was so nice. She's just so pretty. I think the Witty Toys dolls really struggle with makeup. I think there's a lot of like same face going on. It's really hard to tell the Witty Toys dolls apart often, but compared to the other Witty Toys Tecnas, this one is a really nice lip color. I love her like makeup in general. I like her eyebrow color. It's usually identical, but for some reason I really like how it looks on her. A big struggle with Tecna dolls by Witty Toys is that they have this helmet head. This is not Tecna's haircut. The only companies that really get it right are Giochi Preziosi and Mattel. Everybody else just kind of goes with this. And it's fine, but you know, it does take points off because it's not her design, and I don't really mind that if they kind of change something to make it work in doll form, because that haircut is really hard to do, and with nylon or polypropylene hair, it just wouldn't really work. It's too thick, so you need to be using saran or Kanekalon to get that hairstyle. But I feel like we could do better than this, and then every Tecna doll has the exact same this type of hair almost across the board for Witty Toys, and it gets really repetitive and exhausting. Oh, Old Witty gets it right sometimes. I'm sorry, I should have included Old Witty. Old Witty uses the saran hair and gets the hair right sometimes, and we'll see that in a bit. Mythix dolls, I love these. The Jakks Pacific ones, we've seen prototype versions of them on the backs of the packaging. I think I see what they were doing, and they were budget dolls, but I don't know. Those were not my favorite. So even when I thought those were coming out, I wanted these ones because I just think they're really nice. They're very simple. I like this color on Tecna a lot. I like these wings a whole lot. I think they're really, really beautiful. And I especially love that they used this like frosted effect. I don't know why they did that. It doesn't really go with the Mythix design or anything, but I honestly really like it because it helps you see all the details of the wings. I suspect that's why they did it. But yeah, just a really pretty doll. I think the Mythix wings should be larger than this, like they generally are. I like bigger wings, and they do actually have wings that are larger than this in the show, so I would have preferred that. But yeah, these are just really cute dolls. I do think it's weird that they did these shoes, though, because they're supposed to have little ankle boots that are so cute. And I like this transformation a normal amount. I like this design in doll a normal amount. That's gonna be a theme today, so get ready. Buckle up. Well, actually, hold on. Let's hold some space right now. As I said, I like Tecna normal amount, and there are no Harmonix Tecna dolls on this list. Sorry, hint, hint. So here, I like Harmonix Tecna normal amount too. Anyway, next up we have number 8 on this list. This was a little difficult, but I realized something with this one and why I always rank her so high. So this is the absolutely beautiful ball gown Tecna doll from Giochi Preziosi. As you can see, they get her hair better. It's still not perfect. I think this is polypropylene hair, but you know, it's better. There was an attempt made. There is an actual haircut going on here. I give it a 6 out of 10. But anyway, we're not talking Tecna haircuts today. We're talking beautiful, stunning dolls. I have 3 of these old, new Giochi Preziosi Tecna dolls. Only 2 of them have their heads attached to their bodies, right? So, I tend to rank these quite high because I love their faces so much. Secret of the Lost Kingdom is my favorite Winx media thing, just in general. I love it so much. It makes me so happy. I watch it constantly. I can practically quote the whole movie. It's a thing. I've been doing this for like over 10 years at this point. And these dolls look like they jumped right out of the screen. I wish I could have every single one of these dolls, but I live in America. It's kind of hard to get a hold of them here. So I just have to appreciate the ones that I have, and I do appreciate them a lot. I love these so much. They're so beautiful. And I realized that the bias I have towards just the face of these dolls pushes them over the edge, and then I end up ranking them super high on lists when maybe they don't necessarily need to be ranked that high, if that makes sense. But I still really love this doll. I love this dress, actually. I used to have conflicting feelings about it, but now I get it. There's a lot of things that I used to have conflicting feelings about, and now I get it. I understand it. And this is one of those dresses. I think it's so beautiful. Having it in doll form definitely helped. This is also my only like ball gown Tecna doll that I have. And I don't just mean this ball gown, I just mean in general ball gowns. So that gives her a huge plus. I love the color that they did. I feel like I don't have the other ones, but I think from my memory of seeing them online, they don't use this same green color. I love this. This is so Tecna to wear this weird green color. It's also very 2000s of a color, and I love it with the pink. I love the construction of this piece. It's not super complex, but at the same time, it has a lot of details and trims and different things with the construction. I especially love the skirt. Just the shape of it is really interesting and cool. I wish it trained a little bit more, but I'm surprised it trains at all, honestly. And yeah, I love this doll. I think she's really, really cute, and yes. That is my ball gown Tecna doll. Mwah. Okay, next, and I've had her for quite a while too. Next up, we have, oh, I almost grabbed one from the top. No. You were not supposed to be grabbed. Next up, we have number 7 on this list. This is Magical Adventure Tecna. I believe of this list, this is my most recent acquisition. That was a long time ago in terms of Tecnas. For some reason, I just haven't gotten Tecnas added to my collection, at least ones that have made this list. I love this doll. I think she's so pretty. Okay. The thing is, I love the old Witty face for Tecna, and I have a few of them, but one of mine is super wonky. One of mine has a really bad plasticizer leak issue, which is basically where their faces get super shiny. And yeah, so of the ones that I have that are kind of on display, there's not a whole lot. So it doesn't leave a whole lot of them. And 2 of them did make this list out of what, like the 5 of them that I have on display. I would love to have all of them, but maybe someday we'll get there. We'll get there. I think that this doll's outfit is absolutely adorable. The old Witty toys, or Smoby or Simba, or whatever you want to call them, the dolls that are just their everyday looks are so elevated. Is there just an empty doll stand here? Sorry. I think that this is where old Witty shined. Like, the fairy dolls are great, but they have horrible wings. But these are so good. They put so much like effort into them, and even if they were kind of cutting corners or doing weird decisions, they always made them look really good. And you can see her hair's a little bit out of place right now, but you can see that they actually put effort into styling it properly. I do think that this is nylon or polypropylene hair, but it looks good, so I don't mind it. I love the little headband. I just love her face. Like, a lot of old Witty dolls are carried by their faces, which is the problem, because then when you switch to new Witty, they're just inferior versions of the Jakks faces, in my opinion. And that's actually what happened historically in the Winx, like, history. It is exactly what happened. Did you know Straffy really liked the Jakks specific faces, so they worked it out and they used them on the new Witty dolls. So that's why we lost these. These, in my opinion, are the most accurate to Winx in general, and I know that is a contentious opinion. Like, people do not agree with me. People hate these, but I'm specifically referring to the comic book artwork, and I am biased because season 4 is my favorite season, and this is the, like, exact art style for season 4 because that's when these dolls came out. So they look like the season 4 comic book art style, and I think they're so beautiful. I think they're so beautiful. They look so unique among, like, any other dolls. There's just not other dolls that look quite like this. And I love her little outfit. I love all the different, like, textiles they would use. Like, this piece is good, but it's elevated by the knit piece that's underneath, and these funky socks that she has going on. Shoes were a big problem with old Witty, and her fun little bracers too. She's so cute, and I love her little face, and I'm so grateful to have her. I really would like to complete the Magical Adventure line someday, but I'm really glad to have Tecna. Of all the dolls to get first, it was finally Tecna, and I love that. So yay, she's so cute. So yes, Magical Adventure Tecna was number, I think, 7. So moving on, yes, it was number 7. Number 6. Again, if you watched my top 25 Winx video, you're gonna be like, because there was only one other Tecna doll above this doll on my top 25 list. But again, when I'm making a list of all dolls that are favorites in my collection, I pick different dolls than if I'm picking all the ones for a character. So when I was looking at my sample set of 10 Tecnas, my opinions changed. Anyway, this is the new Witty Toys Enchantix Tecna doll. She's China exclusive. I am really glad to have her. My confession is that this is not her actual face. Her actual face is not that cute. This is the Butterflix Tecna face. And again, I know there's not that big of a difference because the new Witty Toys dolls truly do not have that much variation with them, but of the small variations that there are, some of them are stinkers, and the Butterflix one is one of the best ones, so yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna be honest with you, the reason I always rank this doll so high, well, one, I like these simple, inaccurate Enchantix dolls. They take the, like, facade of Enchantix and form it into, like, the cheapest possible outfit they can make for a doll, and I think it works. I actually really like these. I have the full collection at this point, and I really like them. I don't know. I think they're really, really neat little dolls, and I like to see, like, a really, really insane, like, every detail possible, trims and beading and stuff like that interpretation, but I also like to see a simplified interpretation, and I'm not one of those people that, like, Enchantix breathing everything. Like, Enchantix is not my favorite transformation. It's not even in my top it might be number 3 or 4 on my list, but Believix is my favorite. So you're gonna be like, really? Because the amount of Enchantix Tecna dolls that you have on your list are begging to differ. But Enchantix Tecna, on the other hand, is one of my favorite Winx designs ever. I think it's so cool. I think it spoke to her, like, development as a character. I always was so entranced by that little, like, sun thing she has on her belly button in some of the interpretations of the look. I love that her wings randomly change for no reason. Well, I like both designs. This one's my favorite because it's so different and it's so Tecna to have, like, such a weird wing design, but I also love when they have the little bottom piece, and I love her weird little thing in her hair. Like, I love Enchantix Tecna. As a kid, I loved it. It really, really connected with me. I like it a normal amount. I need to redo that, though. I did that very rushed, and I don't think it turned out super amazing. But anyway, all of that is to say, something about this doll just speaks to me. Anyway, the thing that I was avoiding saying is, I'm not going to lie to you, one of the main reasons I always rank this doll so high is I really like the material that they make her wings out of. The China exclusive dolls and a few of the others use this amazing holographic stars material, and it just makes my brain go brrr. Like, I love it, I love it, I love it. It's so gorgeous. And I just love the way the light bounces off it. I love the stars. And I love the way that they did the wings in general, like the colors they chose. You can see the way they used the ink printing to add, like, this subtle coloration that makes this cool effect. And the glitter is placed really nicely. Gorgeous. The one thing that I am very curious about is why they chose this color for the outfit. Enchantix Tecna's outfit is kind of differently interpreted depending on which, like, artwork you look at, because Enchantix seems to have gone through quite a bit of weird development because there's a lot of differences between the comics, between the concept art, between the final doll, between both of the dolls that came out early on. So the Mattel Glam Magic and the Super Fate Enchantix dolls, they're quite different. They use different, like, concept arts. In the movie, Enchantix looks different from how it does in the show. Like, there's so many differences, but this color is kind of random, but I love it. Anyway, yeah, so I'm very biased and like to rank this doll very high because I just think she's so cool. There's just something about the way the wings are done that just speaks to me. I really wish that they had done a Jakks specific Enchantix Tecna doll because I think she would have looked like this with slightly more detail in this department, and it would have been great. Also, these shoes are heinous. The shoes are heinous. That's a Witty Toys issue, though, is that they always use those shoes. Anyway, now it's time for number 5 on this list. This one was hard. When I first laid all these dolls out, she was number 3, and then I really just stared at them for a while, and I was like, because I am sentimentally biased towards this Tecna doll. This is Bloomix Tecna by Jakks Specific, so, I love these. They're so cute. So this doll my dad bought for me, and this was the one that he let me keep immediately. The other ones I had to wait for, and he was like, you can pick one. I was like, of course I want this one. I still have a mystery because I have pictures of this doll dating back to basically when I got her, and I think mine just straight up did not come with the little glitter right here. You see, it's missing. So it's kind of interesting. But anyway, why is this doll number 5 on this list? Look at her. Winx as a franchise and as a fashion thing is very interesting to me because the designers are so good at interpreting what type of fairy they are. With certain fairies, that can be challenging. Like Musa, how do you interpret a music fairy without making it, like, very generic and obvious? So with the Magic Winx design, you have the, you know, the headphones, you've got that little ribbon, you've got things that, like, clue in to the music theme, but since that's Magic Winx, we're not there yet, you know, they'll be elevated as they move on. And some transformations like Sirenix and Enchantix in a lot of ways are very much like, that is a transformation that doesn't have to do with their element, so I'm not really holding it against them that they don't really scream their element, except Aisha. But Tecna is one of the ones that gets kind of, it's hard to do a technology fairy without it being very, like, generic. And I think Bloomix, I guess if you were to think about it, comes off on the side of generic if I were to just describe, like, oh, she has motherboard pants, she has, like, this cool, like, bit thing going on with her wings. Like, if I were to just describe that in a vacuum, it would come off generic, but the way they actually executed it in the show is really cool, and in the designs, and Jakks Specific did a really good job with the dolls. Can you imagine, I don't know why I said it like that, can you imagine being handed this design this design and being told, okay, you have to make a doll of this, and you have a retail cost for when it hits the shelves of up to $25. Figure it out. It seems challenging, so that's why I think there's some sacrifices being made here. And the original prototypes of these dolls, by the way, did actually have the little cape thing, the little shawl thing. So they did think about doing it. I actually like that they don't have it. I love that design element, but because of the way that these dolls were interpreted, I think it works that they don't have it. The one detail that I wish they would have at least attempted is that they all just kind of have the same crown going on. And in Bloomix, they actually have this really cute like circlet crown, and I love a circlet crown. I wish that they had attempted to do that. But otherwise, these dolls are so cool. I like that they gave her this big chunky braid in the front. It helps make her hairstyle stand out because Jakks quite often just did this. I love her wings. Her wing design is so magical and cool. I love the glitter. I love the little hangy bits. I even love that mine's missing this piece. I'm kidding, I don't. It drives me crazy. And I didn't notice that it was missing until years after I got her, and it was like eating me up inside. I was like, what? But like, I love the color scheme, and again, the like computer technology elements on her outfit are pretty subtle. But one thing I will fault the Jakks designers for is, what were you thinking? I hate these shoes. Like, I already hated them in the original use of them, but then using them on Bloomix was egregious. Egregious. But it's fine. It's okay. Okay, moving on to number 4 on this list. This doll was battling for the number 4 versus number 5 spot with Bloomix Tecna, but ultimately she got ahead. It is the Sophix Tecna doll by Witty Toys. So this is the old Witty Sophix Tecna. There was not a new Witty one. But they did actually use her wings for the China exclusive Charmix Tecna. Fun fact. Her wings come back for the new Witty mechanism. I would like to have those wings. I do have the Tecna doll, but I don't have the wings. There are actually 2 different Sophix Tecna dolls, and one of them has weird, like, craft store butterflies as wings. No. I don't even think there's a stock photo that I could use for that, so I'm sorry if there's no picture on screen for this one, but I love this doll. I'm so grateful to have her. I really hope someday I can get the Lovix Tecna. I do have Lovix Tecna's outfit, but I don't have the doll. But she's just so beautiful. I love her little sleeves. They're so delicate. I love Sophix in general. It's really, really cool. Not a very Tecna element to be in, but I think she looks great in it. I love her, like, again, this like obnoxious green color that I think most people would avoid using on dolls. Green is my favorite color, and I love an obnoxious green, and I love that they used it there. They also used this gorgeous teal color on the wings, which looks fantastic. I love this specific shape that they do for the wings, like at the back. I don't know. I think it's so cool. Also, when I said that I hate the old Witty wings, that's what I'm talking about. They're just little pieces of laminated, or it's like plastic that they've applied stuff to, but it actually comes off really easily, and I'll show you what it looks like when it comes off. But you can see some of it has scraped off, and it actually scrapes off onto the doll. So her hairstyle is actually pretty good. They have done some layering. It's not perfect, but it's better. And I like her stupid little bead. They were like, oh, we gotta add some kind of detail. And then Witty Toys did everything so well with the old Witty dolls. They were so good, but they decided, like, no on the shoes. We're not even gonna make an attempt. No. But anyway, every time I look at my Winx collection, this is just one of the dolls that really stands out to me. I really love her. All of the Sophix dolls stand out to me a lot. So, I mean, there's that. But I just think she's so cute. I just think she's so cute. I love green. I love when Tecna's in green. It's one of those things like when Stella wears blue. Tecna wears green more often, but they generally put her in purple, and I like the purple, but I don't think it quite matches with her necessarily all the time. So I really like when she's green because it really contrasts with her hair well, and I think it looks super cool. And it's more of a technology color. Like, I associate light purple with the technology theme now because of Tecna, but green is the more technology color in just the cultural existence. I don't know. Anyway, number 3 on this list we're grabbing for her. It's Super Fate Enchantix Tecna. Okay, so you've seen this doll before. She was in my top 25 list, I'm pretty sure anyway. She should have been. I never have her in her wings, and I wanted to show you why. Yeah, so this is exactly how I got them, just so you know. This is not me just treating this doll terribly. My mom bought these dolls for me used. I got the full 6 set for a great price, and I'm so grateful that she bought them for me at the time because I don't think I would have been able to get these dolls otherwise, and they are some of my favorites in my entire collection, and they're very sentimental to me too. I bring them all over the place. And again, I have made them custom wings, and I do like the custom wings that I've made. But I have trouble making things for myself without being like, oh, I have to make them for other people. So I need to work on that. So hopefully I will do videos. But yeah, so you can see these wings were very beautiful, but they're just paper, or sorry, they're just plastic with like stuff painted on or like applied, and it flakes right off. It's horrible. Ugh. You can see the light pink, and I mean anything that wasn't glitter actually held up decently well. But yeah, my dolls were in basically perfect condition when I got them. It's just their wings. But anyway, I just wanted to show with the wings because I don't even think there's a video on my channel anymore that shows them with their wings on, and this is why. And I still kept them all this time. I have a whole bag of wings that my dolls don't wear or that are extra for me, and they're in there together. Well, these are special. I keep them in a little notebook flattened and then put in the bag generally. But I already described why I like these dolls so much. Everything from Ball Gown Tecna, apply it here. Super Fate Enchantix Tecna, like the way those characters glow in the movie is just so like captivating to me. It's so beautiful. And something that I always joke that I refuse to watch Witch because I will be suckered in and I will have to buy all the dolls and they're really expensive, and I don't have the sanity to try to do that. And the reason is that genuinely I see a gorgeous design on TV and I'm like, give me that. I want a doll of that. Give it to me. So having that, like the ultimate thing that I saw on TV that I'm like, oh my God, as a doll is so cool. And I wanted this doll for so long. So it was so, I mean, at the time it was a large proportion of my life. I guess it was really like 4 or 5 years. So it wasn't like that long, but, coveting for that long and then getting the doll is so, I don't know. I just love her. I love that they did painted on shoes. I know this is and gloves. I know this is something people don't generally like, but for me, in certain situations, please do that instead of doing stupid shoes that look dumb and bad. Like Mythix Tecna shoes, you could have done that for an Enchantix design and it would be fine, but this looks better. And that's what it looks like in the show. They're very delicate. They're basically just like painted onto the skin anyway. They're just slightly three-dimensional. I think this looks really good. And I love all of the little trims and little shapes cut out. I love the beading here. This doll's just really cool. She's overall fairly simple. Like, you could recreate this doll decently easily, all the outfit pieces, I mean. But it's just the artistic vision that made this come together in the first place, I really appreciate. Also, if you're considering the, like, original artwork that they used for this is really accurate to the design. Also, this thing, love it. Love it. I love the way Mattel interpreted that too, but this is a work of art. Like, this was genius. And it's just so cute. Anyway, I love this doll. I love her so much. She'll always be a top favorite for me. I think she's so cool. And huge props for giving her that mullet. They really did. Like, they did the short Tecna haircut and left some long. That's the Tecna mullet. That's the Enchantix mullet. That's what we want. Yeah. And speaking of that glorious Enchantix mullet, this was a really hard top 2. It was really hard to decide who was number 1 and who was number 2. This is how I feel today. My favorites list changed by the day to the point where, like, a doll that was number 3 one week will be number, like, 12 another day. It's subjective based on my mood, based on what I'm valuing that day. So just so you know that, I might watch this video back, like, tomorrow and be annoyed that I did this. But anyway, speaking of Enchantix mullet, we have the, I almost called her Super Fate Enchantix. We have the Glam Magic Enchantix Tecna by Mattel. I have come to change my opinion on the Mattel dolls quite a bit. I've always thought they were really cool dolls, but I've thought that they were heavily overrated. They look Winx-ish, but I think the Giochi Preziosi dolls, both the old and the new, kind of did it better. But as I've added more Mattel dolls to my collection, I've realized why they're so popular and why people really like them. I still think they're a bit overrated compared to all the other Winx dolls, but I think most of the people that specifically covet, like, the Mattel Winx dolls aren't necessarily, like, huge fans of the entire franchise, so of course they're going to prefer the dolls of the first 3 seasons, and I can't really fault people for that. It makes sense. But as an entire franchise, I think the old Witty Toys dolls completely body everybody else, but I think that's an unpopular opinion. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about this lovely lady. There's something so magical about holding these dolls. They are so small and sweet, and the way they move is so satisfying. So, you know, they're just really fun to play with, and that always helps with a doll on like a favorites list for me because I'm very tactile. I like to pose them, and these dolls are just fun to pose. They're very like unique looking. They're very like iconically Winx looking, and I think the Mattel team did an amazing job on them. And these dolls, these and the old Witty Toys dolls, some of the old Witty Toys dolls, their outfits are the best that Winx ever did. I think some of the old Joker Preziosi ones too, but well, I shouldn't say Winx ever did, but any licensee that did Winx ever did, or Witty Toys is Rainbow, so Winx did that, but you know. And the old Joker Preziosi dolls, I haven't fully formed an opinion because I don't have a whole lot of them, but the ones that I have do have really nice outfits. But there's just something about the like materials that they used, the different like beading and different trims that they would do, and the details that they would add, and the details that I don't feel like any other doll line would have done when they're interpreting a character from screen or from artwork to doll. You don't necessarily include things like one random bracelet here, or the little tie around a like the bottom of a sweatpant, but Mattel would do that. So anyway, I don't know why I'm just praising the Mattel Winx dolls right now because we're talking about this one. I think I'm just stalling because I feel weird about putting her at number 2 right now, but it's how I feel right now. It's how I feel right now. So this doll, actually one of the most expensive Winx dolls I ever bought. She was one of the only ones I've ever paid over $100 for, because I was that desperate, because Enchantix Tecna is my favorite and I wanted to have them all. And if I'm not mistaken, I do have them all, other than the unreleased old Witty one, who I would die for. Look at this doll. She is so cool. So something that kind of gives her points off for me is that the color scheme of the specific artwork that they referenced for this doll wasn't my favorite for Enchantix Tecna, but who cares if she got points off because she's still the superior Enchantix Tecna doll, in my opinion. And this is a long formed opinion that I worked on a lot. So anyway, I think her wings are super cool. I have both pairs, but one of them is missing one of these things, and then this one's missing one of the curlies. So maybe someday I'll get a complete pair. I am so tempted very often to just and then have this design with just the top wings. She does not have her mullet. That's why I said speaking of the mullet and then didn't elaborate on what I was talking about. She just kind of has like a medium length hairstyle. I get why they didn't do the mullet, but I wish that they did. That's a few points off. But she's just very pretty. I think the Mattel Winx faces are, it's hard to get those big old like eyelashes to look good on a tiny doll, because these are rooted in eyelashes. They're 3-dimensional hairs that are rooted into the face. It's literally this stuff rooted into the face and then cut super short. It is hard to make that not look stupid, and Mattel is one of the only companies that consistently makes that not look stupid, so huge respect for that, and thank goodness, because that would have been really bad for the Winx dolls because they used the rooted lashes a lot. These dolls are just very premium. They're very fun. They have so many little details that make them super, super fun to look at. And I think that it's between these and the Super Fate Enchantix dolls. It just depends on what you kind of prefer, because these aren't super accurate necessarily. They're very much like number 1 on this list. Will be the same sort of thing. I always really like this sort of thing, but when you take a design and try to elevate it and add your own elements and like make it more detailed and more exciting when you bring it into doll form, and that's what they did with Glam Magic, and I think it's really cool. I understand why they're super popular. Do I understand why they sell sometimes for like $4,000? No. I'd rather just get a custom at that point, and the custom would probably be better because it's not a mass-produced thing. So maybe someday Musa will come home. I somehow have all of them except Musa, and it's mostly thanks to my mom. But this one I actually did by myself, and I'm very grateful to the seller. She was missing the detail that I refused to buy an Enchantix Tecna doll unless she had it. I didn't care as much about even like the shoes. I would figure something out, but it was this piece, and she didn't have it. And the amount that I spent, I was pretty sad about it, but it's because there was this really cool person. I don't know if she would want to be shouted out because she doesn't make these anymore, at least not right now. But she actually sent one to me for free. All along I was gonna buy one. I was just waiting to get my money up after spending it on this. And she sent me one. So this is a reproduction of her little hair clip. It fell and two of the little thingies broke off, so it doesn't stick to her very well anymore. So this accessory is really hard to find because it falls off too easily. But look, okay, wait, is this the side it goes on? It is. It is, probably. So it's just this weird looking little starfish thing. I love it. So Winx looking. And I felt like I could not have this doll unless I had it. And that's why I just never got this doll, is because if you ever find her for a good price, she does not have it. I got her for such a good price, I think. One, because the seller was being really cool. They were just really fair and honest. And two, because her wings were broken. But again, I didn't care as much about the wings. I wanted that hair clip. I wanted the hair clip, and I got it. And I'm so happy. I think this doll's really cool. So yay, I'm happy to have her, and I'll keep her on screen for the number 2 spot so that I can continue to sit here and mull over my decision. It's pretty obvious what this one is if you know me and my Winx opinions. It is Believix Power Tecna. This is basically a San Diego Comic-Con doll. So what these are Believix, the transformation. Jakks Pacific decided to make like special edition versions. So they did the gold, blue, and silver Believix blooms for Comic-Con. And then they decided to do monochrome versions of the other characters too. And I love these dolls. So first of all, her hair is this very unique haircut for Tecna. She's got this little bang and then the longer bit. It is kind of this haircut. This one doesn't have the bangs, but I really like this one. I love that they gave her a different hair color. Most Tecna dolls have this, well, I love this blend, by the way. It's so cool. Most Tecna dolls have this like lighter hair color, and you can see, yeah, that thing fell out again. It's actually quite different, and I love that. And she has tinsel in her hair. I know people hate tinsel, but I love tinsel. So this is my list. I love that they made her wings enormous. That is a struggle with a lot of dolls, is I know they're trying to fit them in the packaging, so that's why the wings are the size that they are, but make them huge. Why not? That's a thing with cosplays too. Like I always make the wings stupidly large because, like, duh. But yeah, this doll's so gorgeous. Look at the design of these wings. They redesigned elements of the Believix outfit. It's like a couture Believix. I love it. I love it. Look at these wings. So pretty. They're very understated compared to a lot of the Jakks wings. They're mostly this like flat sparkle material, and then the painted on or applied sparkles are only in the diamonds, and I think it looks super cool. And then of course she has her understated bottom wing. And I love, so again, Believix is my favorite transformation, but Believix Tecna, no. So I really appreciate that they redid her outfit a little bit here, and this is class. This is elegance. So I love the material that they used for the little turtleneck thing. I like that they did the half sleeve with it. I think if I were to do it, I would probably do the long sleeve, but I think the half sleeve works really well. I love the like overall dress skirt all thing. I don't know what to call this. The elements of like details that they added, like this little diamond to this reminds me of Roxy's Believix actually. I wish they did a Roxy in this line. So sad that they didn't. This really cute little like belted piece here, very 2000s. I know this is 2010s for Believix, but this is such a 2000s thing to me. This thing, again, very Roxy now that I'm thinking about it. That's suspicious, actually. I never really thought about it, but this thing in particular is very Roxy, and so like the diamonds on the, anyway, moving on. I love the glitter. It's so cool. They used a lot of really cool materials for these, and look at these cute polka dot pantyhose. So cute. So cute. And then they have the like special edition shoes from the silver Believix, or I defaulted to silver, you see, the 2012 Comic-Con Believix dolls. They have those shoes. And yeah, these, I am so glad that I ran to Toys R Us and got them immediately, because honestly, I don't know if I would have been able to get them. They were very expensive secondhand, but I love these. These are so cute. Oh, also they gave her a cute crown. I was just thinking, like, I love both of these dolls, and I love that these are both artist interpretations of the designs, and I do actually prefer Enchantix overall, but I don't feel like any company actually got Enchantix fully right. I wish that I was competent at doll making so I could make my ultimate Enchantix Tecna. Maybe someday I'll do it. on a Jakks body, probably. The Jakks dolls, it's complicated. It's probably my favorite overall Winx line, but I think the old Witty Toys dolls are the better Winx dolls in my opinion, but overall, just like my sensibilities with dolls, Jakks specific Winx dolls, I love them so much, and they are what got me into collecting Winx. They're a big part of what made me a doll collector the way that I am today, and I just adore them. So, again, that is not the reason I put her at number one. It was just something about like everything with her that came together. I was like, you know what? I think she's getting the number one spot. Maybe that's just for today, and I'll switch it up immediately after this. Who knows? But for now, she has earned her number one spot, and I'm very happy for her because I don't think she's ever gotten a number one spot. I don't even think she ever makes these lists normally because among the Believix power line, she isn't actually my favorite. Oh, another thing. I know I was saying I don't necessarily like it when they put Tecna in purple. I prefer the green. I like this color of purple. I like that they did a different purple color. Anyways, that's it. Now we'll cut to the clip that I filmed earlier, but thank you guys so much for watching. I would love to know if you guys actually do want to see more Winx videos. I would like to make them. And I love my Winx dolls. I would love to add more to my collection. Again, it's just really hard. I'm really good at ordering from many different countries, but it's really been a struggle to figure out European countries because I have to rely on other people a lot, and I don't like to burden people like that when I'm like, hey, can you help me order this thing? So it's just a lot harder than, say, on a proxy service like the Japanese proxy that I use or the Chinese proxies that I use. I just hit purchase and then they do it, you know? It's much less like, hey, friend, can you do this? Can you do this? And then they have to go through and purchase it themselves, and then they have to receive it and confirm, and then, like, it's a little different, but hopefully I can add more to my collection. I'm really sad that I've not collected the Season 8 Winx dolls, or sorry, the Season 9 style, I should say. And most of the Season 8 ones too, just like very recently, it's been hard to get a hold of them, so I just haven't been able to. It's been cost prohibitive. Ever since COVID, all of the sites that I used to get my Winx dolls from brand new shipped to me, the shipping either became ridiculous or the prices on the dolls themselves became ridiculous, so I'm just kind of stuck. But yeah, I love Winx. I love these dolls a lot, and yeah, still can't believe I've never done one of these Tecna videos. I get why, but it's weird. Okay, that's it. Let me know who your favorite Tecna dolls are, and thank you guys so much for watching. For real this time. Bye! Alright, you guys, that is it for this video. This is actually the beginning of the video when I'm filming this. Like, I haven't even started filming the face part of this video yet. But I thought I would do this while I have them all lined up because I've been sitting here deliberating over who would be the top of the list specifically, and I was very surprised when I came to the end of it by what happened here. Because normally, if you watch, like, my other top 10 list, she's usually towards the top, and I've had most of these dolls this entire time, so I've been being a little bit biased. But when I sit here and look at the 10 favorite Tecna dolls that I pretty easily plucked off my display, I realized that, yeah, I've been sorting them funny. Also, excuse her wings. I have made doubles, like, or I've made, like, dupes of her wings before, and I love them, but I always end up, like, sending them to somebody else, so I went and dug out her horrible original wings, and this is the condition that I got them in, by the way. Maybe a little bit worse because I just store them in a little notebook so that they stay perfectly flat and don't bend or lose any more glitter, but yeah, those dolls had horrible wings. Yeah, I love my Tecna dolls. They are so, so cute, and Tecna is a character that means a lot to me. It's always between her and Stella for my favorite characters, consistently, ever since I was a kid, and yeah, I love my Tecna dolls a lot. And I think it's so funny that I just simply have not filmed Tecna, like, top 10 list before, but I'm realizing it's most likely because I just did not have enough dolls where it felt like a actual top 10 list, because I had so few dolls that it was like, okay, well, this is all 10 of my dolls. I'm just ranking them at that point. And for a favorites list, I really like for all of them to be ones that I put on the list because I really, really loved them and I thought about it instead of just being like, well, this is my 10th Tecna doll and she's my least favorite. You know what I mean? But I have much more than 10 now. But the ones that were contenders for this list were not many. So there were only a few that would make it into like a top 12 list, I guess, that did not make it onto this list. So I'm pretty happy with this lineup. And these dolls are really special to me, especially because Tecna can be pretty hard to find, especially during original Jakks Pacific era. So funny enough, the ones that were hard to find are not here, like my Believix Tecna that I really worked hard for. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'd love to know who your favorite Tecna dolls are, and I hope that I can add more Tecna dolls to my collection in the new year. Bye, guys!